On guys, welcome back. It's another day, and today was weird. It started a little hot, now it's cold out of nowhere, and it's dropping even lower. And I just want to walk around and admire this thing. I just cleaned the chain for the first time. I wanted to do a video on that, but I didn't, just because I didn't have a stand. So I had to walk it forward, like back and forth a couple times to get it. I had to take the cover off, but once I get a stand on the second clean, I should be able to get a good video there, so that way I can show how to properly do it, because I looked it up online and I did find a very good tutorials. The only thing is, like, nobody has one where they take off the cover. So I took off the quick shifter and I had to take off the cover to fully access the inside gear, and then properly clean the whole thing and then lube it up. But today is not about that. Today is about the Game Awards and the nominees. The beautiful nominees, of course. And there's 6 of them. And I do have some questions, such as, why couldn't we include Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown? But besides that, the nominees are Metaphora Fantasio, we have Astrobot, we have the beautiful Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, and I'm missing one more goodie, and I can't remember at the time, but it will come back. I never played Black Myth Wukong. I wanted to try it, but here's the thing about me: I'm not a big Souls Light fan. I love having cinematic storylines, and I like having not very linear, but I like having games in which it covers a lot more of the exploration and the cinematic side, the fantasy side, instead of constantly having to worry about movements and predicting enemy attacks and seeing exactly what do we got here, and seeing exactly when they're gonna attack and have to block it and do that good stuff. And so I never got to play it, and I did hear a lot of good things about that game. It sold a lot of PS5s, and that's something where a game to do that, it brings me back to getting a 360 for Gears of War as an example. But I don't know if I should try it out. I mean, I definitely am I'm considering it, after all, even now being on the list. Astrobot, of course, you know I'm gonna go for Astrobot. Astrobot is PlayStation's gem. I love everything about Astrobot: the gameplay, how it looks, the interactive the interactive parts about the game. It's just beautiful, and it's fun to enjoy with the family and friends as well. Final Fantasy VII, I really like Final Fantasy VII a lot. I really like the remake. I love the expansion pass. I thought I would get more into Rebirth when it came out, but for some reason I started playing it and I kind of put it down. Not sure why. I kind of keep going back into it, and I love how it plays. But I feel like it's one of those games that I have to kind of enjoy the beginning for a little bit and give it some time, let it marinate. And when I go back to it, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, like, oh, this is the Final Fantasy 16 feeling all over again, of all the visuals and all the fights and aeons and everything. So I'll have to go back to that, but visually the game looks great. There's a lot of people that are just doing this today. Yeah, the game looks visually fantastic. So it's definitely on the list. Balatro, I never got to play Balatro, even though I heard a lot of good things about it. Very addicting, of course, but I never played it. I heard it's something like playing blackjack, but without the addiction, I guess. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, you know, put it down in the comments. I mean, if that makes sense. Doesn't really to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I play it, I'll understand how the gameplay is. But for now, I mean, not really too interested. Elden Ring. Shadow of the Erdtree, I didn't play it, and I know you have to play a lot of Elden Ring itself to be able to play Shadow of the Erdtree, but I never played the game. When the game came out, that was when Horizon Forbidden West came out, and I definitely preferred Horizon. I definitely preferred Horizon. I loved the first one. I thought it was a beautiful game, and the second one, I mean, it was all right. I mean, it was definitely a lot bigger. The platinum was fun to get on that one. The expansion pass, the expansion pass was great at the Burning Shores. So it's definitely an acquired taste, just like Elden Ring. It just seems that a lot more people liked Elden Ring so much that it won the Game of the Year award, and I'm sure it has a reason to. I mean, the game looks great. The graphics look amazing. It makes me want to play it, but then, you know, even entry enemies, it's like playing Bloodborne. I mean, it's fun to play until you get to your first big boss, and yes, I pushed through a lot of times to get stronger and come back and repeat it over and over, but it kind of gets repetitive when you have to do it 4 or 5 times. And yes, you get through the big bosses to get to the even bigger ones, but it kind of defeats the purpose, at least for me. I think as an expansion pass game, they definitely changed the rules a little bit. You don't see very often expansion passes. You don't see very many expansion passes getting on the list of Game of the Year, per se. But how about Stellar Blade? Whatever happened to Stellar Blade? I think Stellar Blade was an amazing game. Is an amazing game. It was the closest thing to Souls-like, Souls-light, at least in my opinion, that I found it to be such a great game, even though yes, it was very difficult and I had to get used to the gameplay. And even after that, like, it actually made me enjoy that type of game style. Not enough to get Elden Ring right away, but it was very enjoyable. So even if they did an expansion for Stellar Blade or a part 2, I'm definitely jumping on board on that game. It was a very, very creative game, and I think it's that should have been on the list. And of course, the Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. That game should have been on this list, and I don't know why not. Like, this Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown was so good. It's one of those games that it doesn't matter what console you play it on, and I played it on the Switch. I enjoyed it every single bit of that game. And if you haven't played that game yet, I really recommend you to get this game. It's on the Switch, it's on the PlayStation, it's on the Xbox. Heck, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's on Steam, but I don't know that. But that game should have definitely been on that list, or at least made the options, more. So instead of 6 options, 10 options or so, because there's definitely games that came out this year that deserve to be on that list, and then they didn't make it. So I really wish I could remember what's the last game that was on that list, but if I don't, then that means it's probably, not at the top of my list. But if it's up to me from the selection, I would definitely go with Astrobot and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth a close second. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments. What game should be on the list? What game do you guys prefer? Should I play Elden Ring? Should I get Elden Ring and sit down and suffer through it in order to maybe understand the beauty behind it? Let me know. If you guys like the video, hit the like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.